Hello, and a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are around the world, and welcome to today's Postgrad Insight session, Postgrad webinar session. Now, today we're joined by Cardiff University, Becky Denmark from the International Office, who's going to be talking us through a whole host of things to do with Cardiff Uni, ranging from the fantastic programs and courses that are available, all towards what it's like to live in Cardiff and the capital of Wales. But before I do hand you over, a reminder, today's session is live. Yeah, it's the 30th of January 2026. If you have any questions at all and you're watching live, please pop the questions in the Q&A box at the top or bottom of your screen, depending on which device you're watching on. And if you are watching on demand, whether it be on social media, on our website, or any other website, please email webinars@postgradsolutions.com. We will endeavour to get your question over to Becky and the team as quickly as possible. Likewise, feel free to say hi in the chat and where you're watching from. Always lovely to see new faces and hear from new people. So I'll be back for the Q&A towards the end. That'll be about 5 to 10 minutes. But for now, Becky, over to you, and I'll see you at the end.
Great, thank you so much. And hello, everybody. My name's Becky Denmark, and I work in the International Office here at Cardiff University in the capital city of Cardiff, which is the capital city of Wales. And yes, as rightly so just suggested, I am going to talk to you today about Cardiff University and everything that we have to offer. So about our courses, about our history, about our scholarships, about our student support, and about life as a student here in Cardiff. So first of all, let's have a bit of history, a bit of context about the university. So we were established in 1883, so we're quite a traditional institution. We've been standing for quite a long time, but we are very traditional, but we're also very modern and very international in our outlook. We are a really nice mixture of new meets old. So we've got beautiful, gorgeous Edwardian buildings, like you can see on the screen now, mixed with some of the most cutting edge modern facilities, and students from over 140 different countries currently studying with us. We are a member of the Russell Group, and the Russell Group is essentially 24 research-led universities here in the UK. They specialise in intensive research, and we are the only Russell Group university in Wales. We are one of the largest universities in the UK, so we currently have between 32,000 and 33,000 students currently studying with us, and this is across our 3 colleges, which is made up of 24 different academic schools, which offer more than 350 undergraduate and postgraduate programmes. So for postgraduate students, we offer 2 intakes. The majority of our programmes start in September every year. So our next September intake will obviously be in 2026. And then we do have a few selected postgraduate courses offering January start dates. We are hoping in the future as well to be able to offer more January courses, so to build on that portfolio of January start dates. So just a few facts here about Cardiff. So we are 181st in the world as per the most recent QS World Rankings. So we're a world top 200 university. And bear in mind, there are tens of thousands of universities in the world. Being a world top 200 university is really positive. We also have our Students' Union. You can sort of see a glimpse of it on the picture on the screen. And we have got the 2nd best Students' Union in the UK. And again, to put that into context, we have 160 universities in the UK, and we've got the 2nd best Students' Union, and have won awards for our student life as well. We're the 3rd most affordable student city in the UK. We are a capital city, and we are the most affordable capital city in the UK. London is obviously the capital of England, and Cardiff is the capital city of Wales. Cardiff, on average, is 40% cheaper than London for living costs and 50% cheaper for accommodation costs. So we're really proud of the fact that we're a city-based university, a capital city, and students can experience that, but for a much lower cost. 52 of our programs are accredited programs accredited by more than 52 professional bodies, So we have 52 third-party bodies that accredit our programs. So this is mainly in things like engineering and STEM, where we have the Royal Institute of Engineers, for example, have accredited our programs. We currently have over 200 different clubs and societies, and these are run out of our students' union. So we have everything from, I don't know, the business society, the law society, to things like the Taylor Swift Society. So there really is something for everybody. We do have scholarships, and there is a slide on scholarships a little bit later. And we're 12th in the UK for graduate employability. Again, there are 160 different universities in the UK, and we're 12th for graduate employability. We have a really large network of alumni who we work with across the world. Currently, it's over 200,000 that we currently work with. And these guys, sometimes come back and speak to our students about their journey. And once, if you come to Cardiff and become an alumni, that support and access to the university will continue way beyond graduation as well. And we do also have plenty of accommodation, and we guarantee this for international students who meet the requirements. So just to talk a little bit more about rankings, I obviously mentioned that we rank quite highly in a lot of the UK rankings, but we also have great rankings worldwide as well. So you can see here courses that are ranked within the World Top 50, the World Top 100, and also within the UK Top 10. So hopefully students who are watching in the room now can see your course area and can be excited about our high rankings in those areas. And we do also have really fantastic facilities, as I've mentioned earlier, and here is just some snapshots of some of those facilities. We have things like optometry and psychology, a lot of healthcare sciences. We've got our business institute there as well, and also TV studios for our journalism students as well. So Cardiff really is a global community. We currently have around 8,000 international students from over 150 different countries currently studying with us. And we do have over 300 different partnerships from around the world. So this is other universities that we work with and have a dedicated set in stone partnership, and students can benefit from that, from things like study abroad, etc., etc. We also have many students doing student exchange, mobility opportunities, doing working abroad, studying abroad. So if you do want to add a level of internationalization to your degree, that is something that can be explored when you come here to Cardiff. And we do have two fantastic quotes here from two of our students about their time at Cardiff and how they found kind of settling in. I won't read them out, but yeah, you can see them. And this is obviously being recorded if you wanted to have an in-depth read of these. But yeah, they're basically just some lovely students saying great things about their time with us here. So as promised, I did say that we would talk a little bit about scholarships. Do bear in mind that these are the scholarships we have for 2026 entry. So September 2026 is our next intake, and these scholarships are for that intake. If you are looking for perhaps 2027 intake or 2028 intake, then they may change slightly. So do just keep an eye on the website, but this is currently what we have available. So we have our Vice Chancellor's International Scholarship, and this is worth between £4,000 and £10,000, depending on domicile. We have our specific Cardiff India Scholarship, which is worth £6,000. And then we have various third-party scholarships, including Chevening, the Commonwealth Masters Scholarship Programme, and others as well. And we also have, we're really lucky this year to have been granted 6 great scholarships from the British Council worth £10,000 each. So it's one for students from France, one from Greece, one from Italy, one from Mexico, one from Pakistan, and one from Spain as well. I have also put on here just some scholarships available for undergraduate students, just in case any undergraduate students do watch this. But I do know that this is obviously focused towards postgrad, but just in case. So for undergraduate, we have our Vice Chancellor's International Scholarship worth between £3,500 to £5,000, depending on domicile, and also our International Excellence Scholarship worth £10,000 as well. We do have a QR code at the bottom, so if you wanted to scan that, it will take you to our scholarships page. But equally, you can just Google Cardiff University International Scholarships, and it will take you directly to the page to have a look and to see whether you're eligible and what the criteria is and when the deadlines are as well. So going back to Cardiff University and where we are, obviously we are based in the city centre of Cardiff. And this map is really helpful to kind of get your bearings and to see how the university is set up. So you can see the red buildings on this picture. The red buildings are the academic buildings and our academic schools, okay? You can see mainly in that green circle in the middle is where our Cathays campus really is. And this is where most of our buildings are concentrated. You'll also see at the top of this picture, there is a kind of large red building at the top of this picture by Heath Park. That is the Heath Park campus, and that is the University Hospital of Wales. It's a dedicated healthcare campus. It's next to 100 acres of parkland, and there is student union and services on the site as well. But that is essentially the main hospital in South Wales. So our dentistry and medic students tend to work out of this building. You should be able to see as well some purple buildings or some purple kind of blocks in and around the red blocks. That's student accommodation. So you can see some of the student accommodation is super duper close to the academic buildings. Some of it's a little bit further out. All of it's very, very accessible to beautiful parkland and playing fields. Cardiff is a very green and clean city. So you're never too far away from kind of escaping the city life and going and, you know, sitting in a field with your friends or going for a run or going by the River Taff, which is really lovely as well. So yeah, we get the best of both worlds here. We get a lot of green parkland and a really vibrant and exciting city centre with great shopping. And yeah, so that kind of gives you an outline of what the city of Cardiff looks like in relation to the university. And this is just a sort of overview. So we've got the Cathays Park campus here. Again, you can see loads of lovely green parkland. And then you can see the Heath Park campus there, which is essentially the hospital. So just a bit more about student life. So we have a students' union. And as I mentioned earlier, our students' union is really highly ranked within the UK. And student life is often centred around the student union. We're consistently ranked within the top 3, and we're actually currently 2nd place for our students' union. The students' union is run by students for students. So the elected officer team, so the people who kind of run it, are current students, and they're voted for by our students. So it really is the students' voice for the university, and it really shapes the student experience here at Cardiff University. It is the hub for everything, so including student life, events and services. There's shops and there's restaurants and a nightclub and concert venue. There's like loads of fun things going on. There's always something exciting, always something coming up at the Students' Union. They're very active, and our students, I think, really do appreciate that. And there's a lovely quote here from one of our students from Indonesia, talking about how diverse the student body is as well, and how many new hobbies she's picked up since coming to university. So I mentioned that they're responsible for clubs and societies at Cardiff, and you can just see some of the snapshots of the clubs and societies we have here. So we do have an international students network, and we do have societies that are based around nationality as well. So we have a Pakistani society, Cardiff University Chinese Society. We have, general interest societies and important kind of societies such as, I mentioned Amnesty International earlier, Cardiff University Pride as well. Societies based around kind of sports, like we've got the Yoga Society, shared interest, gospel choir, and then things that maybe perhaps are a little bit more fun, a little bit more silly, things like the Harry Potter Society, as I mentioned earlier. There's Dungeons and Dragons Society, there's like the Animation Society, I think. So yeah, there's really something for everyone. So no matter what your interest is, hopefully you can find a society that you can join that will really help, keep your social life alive as well. Because obviously we know coming to university is very much about the academic side of things, but you've got to enjoy your student life too. And I think that's really important that you do make the most of the social side of it and also the academia side of it. And we also have loads of sports clubs as well. So if you are somebody who is sporty, likes to play competitively, likes to just play for fun, again, there's something for everyone. We have more than 65 different sports clubs, and these are all at varying levels. Everything from things like rugby, football, and cricket to things like lacrosse, the triathlon club, archery. There's things like Quidditch, I think, as well. So yeah, hopefully, again, something for everybody. And when it comes to sport, regardless of your level or ability, you can get involved. If you just enjoy a little bit of a kickabout with a football with your friends on a Wednesday afternoon, that's perfectly fine. But if you are somebody who likes to play a little bit more competitively against other universities at maybe a regional or a national level, then you can do that. You can try out for our A teams and our B teams. And if we do get any students watching this who are competing currently at a junior or international standard or above, we do actually have a specific program for those students, which is called the High Performance Program. And this is open to elite student athletes who want to be able to continue their student athlete journey, but also get a degree. So there's some extra support there to support those students on that journey. But some of the other facilities that we have include our sports training village, which have fitness suites, conditioning rooms. We have the fitness and conditioning centre, so gyms. If you're just somebody who wants to work out, go to the gym. We have sports fields, and these can be booked out as well. Dance studios that offer over 100 different fitness classes, including aerobics and yoga. So again, something for everyone to keep you fit and healthy. So when it comes to money and living expenses, this is obviously a large question that a lot of students have, because coming to the UK to study as an international student can be very expensive. So you kind of want to know, what does everything else cost? I know how much my course costs. I know if I'm getting a scholarship, but how much does everything else cost? And I mentioned earlier how Cardiff is one of the most affordable student cities in the UK. So the estimated living expenses for a postgraduate student is currently around £15,000 per year, inclusive of accommodation. And for undergraduate, it's around £11,000 per year. The city of Cardiff is very compact and it's very flat as well. So it is really easy to get around. You won't be spending much money on public transportation. If you go to a city where having to get a bus across town or get the underground or a metro, then that can really rack up the cost. But in Cardiff, everything is really accessible, really easy to walk. It's a very flat city. If you go outside of the city, it becomes very mountainous, but the city itself is very flat. Also, students are permitted to work. So international students on a visa will be permitted to work, but you do have to check your student visa guidelines. Typically, it should be 20 hours per week, but please do check your guidelines. It is your responsibility to make sure that you do not work over the amount stated on your visa. And as a student, because we are a very student-focused city, Cardiff is not the only university in Cardiff University is not the only university in Cardiff. There's a few others. It is a very student-led city, so there's loads of discounts and offers for students, and it's a really student-friendly place. We also have dedicated international support teams and dedicated international support inductions and settling in as well. So on the academic side of things, we have different English language options for students to be able to benefit from. So if you feel like you need a bit of academic support with academic English, you can seek that out. Also with maths and statistics for essay writing and presentation skills as well. So these are all accessible for international students if you feel like you need a little bit of extra support. All students will be given a dedicated personal tutor as well. And the personal tutor is there for you to talk to if you have any concerns about your academia, or as well, if you are really thriving and there's something that you want to discover more about, you can speak to your personal tutor and they can guide you, and they're kind of that support network for you throughout your whole time with us at Cardiff. When it comes to arrival and induction, we have airport coach collection that is usually from London Heathrow. You do have to book this. So if you do come to Cardiff and you want to take advantage of this opportunity, then it would need to be booked. But you'd get an email about that in sort of your pre-departure briefings. You have a really comprehensive induction. This is online and also in person. And we do also have a welcome week, which is run by the Students' Union for all our new students. And this includes things like Freshers' Fair and orientation and kind of welcome events. We also have a dedicated International Student Support Centre, and these guys can help students with any visa advice questions. They're trained with UKVI information, so they're there to help you with that information. They can help with financial advice and also with any welfare or settling in queries that you may have. And we do also have dedicated support specifically for postgraduate students. So this support is for postgraduates, and you get access to additional facilities and networks. So we have we have a specific person within the Students' Union who is an elected officer who is responsible for the postgraduate voice at the university. You have access to the postgraduate network, and this is an inclusive space and a community, and it's different events dedicated specifically for postgraduate students to really help with additional support and networking opportunities. There are dedicated postgraduate study zones, so postgraduates only kind of study zones as well. And students in the business school can access the postgraduate teaching centre. This has specific trading rooms, social spaces, a coffee shop, boardroom, teaching facilities, bookable spaces, specifically for our business school postgraduate students. If anyone's watching who is looking at research, so PhD or postgraduate research programs, we do have the Doctoral Academy, and this provides personal and professional space for postgraduate research students. And all research students are supported by their academic supervisor as well as their personal tutor as well. So they kind of get the two different types of support there. So within our Centre for Student Life, our Centre for Student Life is basically our one-stop shop for all student services. We have the Student Futures team, and the Student Futures team is here to specifically help our students prepare for life after university. They are a specialised career team, and we do have a specialised team specifically for international students to really help you prepare for work, for life after university, for professional life. And you can really access a whole range of different resources from them, including careers advice. They can help find work experience. They can support you with your LinkedIn profile. They can support you with help writing your CV. They can help you with interview practice as well. So they're really an amazing support for our students, and it's a free support. It's not mandatory. Students don't have to engage with Student Futures, but we heavily recommend that you do because they are really good at what they do and they're really there to help people. If you want to start your own business, they can give advice for that. And they also offer a whole host of volunteering opportunities as well. So if you don't want to go for them for work experience, but in the summer you want to do some work, some volunteering, or you want to do volunteering throughout your degree, then they have loads of opportunities that you can take advantage of. So of course, coming to university and, spending the money to come to university in the UK, you want to know how employable you'll be after your degree programme and the job market and what access to the job market you will get whilst at university. So Cardiff is the 12th highest university for graduate employability, and 88% of our international graduates were in highly skilled employment or further study 15 months after their course ended. And what I mean by highly skilled employment is essentially employment where you need to have a degree or higher to be able to get that job. So 88% is rather high. And we're really proud of our international alumni for everything that they've done so far. We currently work with over 100 different international employers, and they come to Cardiff University and they take part in loads of recruitment events. So we have big big recruitment fairs where loads of companies come and speak to our students about their graduate opportunities. And we work with those companies every year, and they're always really excited to come and meet the new lot of Cardiff graduates as well. We do also have a very heavy online presence when it comes to our employability, and we have a graduate jobs board which has thousands of opportunities over the year for our students to get involved with, and jobs to apply for as well. And there's loads of networking opportunities. So as well as the large career fairs that that our Student Futures team put on, the individual schools will also put on their own networking events. So the business school will put on networking events, the law school will. And this is really designed to help broaden your network and develop your skills and develop your contact book as well for once you've graduated university. So Cardiff graduates are highly sought after by employers. As I mentioned earlier, we do have over 200,000 strong new graduates, and they're out there in the world thriving in their fields. On screen now, you can see some of the logos of some of the companies that our students have gone on to work for. And hopefully these are companies that you recognise and aspire to work for yourself. We haven't put obviously every single logo on because we'll be here for quite a while going through them, but we've just put in some of our other most kind of well-known, I suppose, companies that students have worked for. And there's a really great quote here from Hamza from Pakistan, talking about the support he was given for his mock interview for the career that he went into. So just a bit more about the capital city of Cardiff. So we talked a bit about the university, but I'm going to sort of broaden it out just a little bit. So Wales, specifically, the country that Cardiff is in, has a really rich history, and it is sometimes called the castle capital. You'll actually find more than 600 castles in Wales, and the Cardiff Castle, which is right smack bang in the centre of the city of Cardiff, is actually a 2,000-year-old castle, and it's very well preserved. And I would highly recommend that if and when you come to Cardiff, book a tour, because it's really interesting and it's really well maintained. It's a really great castle to see, especially if you love history. Wales also has its own language. You don't need to speak Welsh to be able to come to a Welsh university. We all speak English. But 20% of the population of Wales do speak Welsh, and it is actually Europe's oldest living language. So you're welcome to try and learn it if you wish, if you come to Cardiff. But yeah, English is kind of the main language that people do speak in and around the university. Dragons is also a very big kind of symbol of Wales. Our flag is, I think, one of the best flags in the whole world, just because it's got a dragon on it, and that's pretty cool. But the red dragon is the national symbol of Wales, and it basically tells the legend of how the red dragon defeated the invading white dragon in a fierce battle. Wales is also very well known for its national parks, so pretty much the whole of the centre of Wales is a national park and a really beautiful kind of area. The Brecon Beacons is probably about 45 minutes to an hour away from Cardiff North. We have beautiful coastlines and beautiful beaches in Pembrokeshire. Up in the north of Wales, there's Snowdonia, which is the highest peak in Wales. So if you are somebody who loves nature, hiking, getting out in nature, then really Wales is one of the best places to do that. And there is also very traditional food in Wales as well. So Welsh cakes are very popular. And when we have visitors coming to us to visit the university from overseas, there's always some Welsh cakes because everyone loves them. Actually, the picture on screen now, that is some Welsh cakes. So they're like little flat pancakes with raisins and sugar on top, and they're really delicious. But also lava bread, Welsh rarebit, which is cheese on toast, Glamorgan sausages, and yeah, lots of other things can be found across Wales, and they are really delicious. But to put it in a nutshell, Cardiff is really a safe, affordable and friendly multicultural city. In 2023, Condé Nast, which is a travel magazine, voted Cardiff the best and friendliest city in the UK. And as somebody myself who didn't grow up in Cardiff, I grew up in South London, I can say that this is very true. I love it here, and the people are so friendly. And I do very much agree with Condé Nast's report there of the best and friendliest city in the UK. It is estimated that 94 different languages are spoken across our multicultural city, and there are loads of religious and cultural facilities for all religions and none, so including mosques, synagogues, churches, temples. So no matter what your background, it's catered for within the city of Cardiff. The international cuisine in Cardiff is also superb. It's really, really great. So the city centre has the kind of chain restaurants that most people in the UK are used to. But if you go just outside the city centre, kind of the student areas and the more kind of hipster areas, there's some really great places to go and eat and have coffee. The population of Cardiff is very small and friendly. We have about 380,000 people, and this is made up of approximately 20% students. It is also one of the safest regions in the UK. So if anyone's parents are wondering about safety, then Cardiff is one of the safest regions in the UK. And as we mentioned earlier, it is one of the UK's most affordable city, and it is the UK's most affordable capital city as well. So as you can see from the pictures when we did that bird's eye view, it is really green and it's very easy to get around. I love this picture on screen because this is students in the park in the middle of the city centre. Just behind them is Cardiff Castle, and just behind Cardiff Castle is the city centre with all the shopping, bars and restaurants. And you can be sat in that park and not know that you're in the middle of a city. It's really peaceful, but everything is on your doorstep. It's all really, really tightly knitted together. If you're someone who likes a bit of shopping, then we have great shopping destinations. We have like multiple Victorian arcades where you can shop and get coffee. We have 2 different high streets. We have a massive shopping mall. So, you know, everything can be catered for. And as we said, it's one of the greenest cities in the UK. Over 330 parks and gardens, like the one pictured you can see here. There's also easy access to national parks and beaches and castle and walking and scenic bike cycling. So yeah, again, something for everyone. And life in Cardiff is really fun. If you're somebody who's into your sports, specifically things like rugby or cricket or football, then we have regular international rugby tournaments happening at the Principality Stadium. Cardiff is due to co-host the 2028 UEFA Euros kickoff game as well. If you're a runner, then every October there is Cardiff Half Marathon. We also have multiple music venues. We actually have 3 stadiums within the city centre, and also loads of independent music venues for other kind of up-and-coming artists, or maybe more niche artists or underground artists. But in recent years, we've had music stars such as Taylor Swift, Beyonce, Pink, Justin Timberlake, Ed Sheeran, Oasis, Coldplay, the Foo Fighters. Yeah, we've had lots come to visit us. And every summer, the parkland around Cardiff Castle in the city centre becomes a bit of a festival. And there's loads of music and food festivals, and it becomes like a really exciting, fun, vibrant place. We also have lots of theatres, arts and culture as well. So if you are somebody who likes going to the theatre or going to sort of art centres and kind of, you know, cinema and all of that, then there's lots of opportunities to go. We have loads of different venues for that as well. And here's just some pictures of life in Cardiff. So you've got a concert happening at the Principality there. You've got the Cardiff Castle with the Principality Stadium in the background, Cardiff Half Runners, shopping, coffee culture, and also that is one of the beautiful beaches down on the Pembrokeshire coastline. Yeah, just a really stunning place. And yeah, there's always something to do in Cardiff. So, you know, no matter what is happening, there's always going to be something happening, going on, something to put in your diary. If you're somebody who wants to do something every single day, you can do that. But if you're somebody who just, you know, sometimes wants to do stuff, but other times just wants to chill out, then that is totally fine as well. But we do have lots of international events and occasions that are celebrated throughout the city, as well as festivals to specifically celebrate Welsh food, music, language and culture. So we have lots of international food festivals, international film festivals. We have Pride Parade as well. We have the Go Global Festival. There's lots of open air theatre if you're interested. I'm not going to try and pronounce the the Welsh here, but there's another food festival. And we also have a specific festival, which is a celebration of Wales and Africa, in Welsh dance, Afro-Welsh performances on workshops. So kind of coming together of the two different cultures there, which is wonderful. And also Welsh language festivals as well. And here's just some pictures of that. So at the top there, you've got Cardiff Light Festival, which normally happens around Christmas time. You kind of got reenactments of battles at Cardiff Castle, and different other cultural events that happen throughout the city. You've also got a food festival down there at Cardiff Bay. So yeah, always something going on at the weekends. You can be very busy if you want. So just to finish off, if you do have any questions about student life or you want to speak to a student specifically, you're very welcome to do so. And we do have what we call a sort of what's it called? Yeah, where you a kind of platform where you can talk to our students. So if you go onto our website, you can click on the link and it will take you to a page where you can look at our students that are available to talk to. And you might find that there's a student who's doing the course that you want to study. And you can speak to them about their experience and hear what it's really like to study at Cardiff from a real student here at Cardiff. And if you do have any questions, we do have our contact details. So we have international@cardiff.ac.uk. This is for any questions that you may have about our courses or application. And also just a quick note, do follow us on social media because I think social media can be really good to see what a university is all about. So our links are down there. Just going to go back to this slide and just see if, because I can't see who's on the call at the moment, but just want to see if Kyle, our student ambassador, is on
I
air.
I
Hi,
am. Can
Kyle,
you
how are
hear
you?
me?
I can
I'm
hear
doing
you.
good.
Thank
I'm
you.
sorry. I don't know if anyone can see me. I'm sat here just outside of the engineering building, enjoying the lovely sunshine that we're having. Can the people in the webinar see me? Or
Good morning, Kyle. Yes, I'm the main host and presenter from Postgrad. We can all see you fine. Thank you for joining, and I'll leave you guys
okay,
be to have a chat away.
Fantastic, thank
okay,
you.
cool.
Yeah, so I can't see you, Kyle, because I can just see my presentation. But you are kind of a long-term veteran of Cardiff University, and you've been here quite a
Yeah.
while. So perhaps you could take us through your experience as a Cardiff University student, I guess particularly with that kind of postgraduate spin on it, if you will.
Yeah. So my name is Carl Free. I'm an international student from South Africa. I am studying business management with an integrated work placement and a professional placement year. So I have done a little bit of an unorthodox route to my course, and I've really been enjoying living in Cardiff. I think there is very few cities that I think are as friendly. There's a saying that I heard in my first few weeks here. You can go an entire day without seeing a smile in London, but you can't go 10 minutes in Wales without seeing one. So I think for me, coming to Cardiff, it's just been a very, very lovely city. Yeah, I am very focused on employability. So when I came to the UK, obviously it's a big financial investment for all of us. So I wanted to make sure that I was in a university that really highly prioritized it. So I have made use of literally all of the different support services that the university has had to offer. So when Becky was talking about student futures, I went there getting help writing my first CV. I went there for help preparing with all of my interviews. So I've made use of all of the different teams in the university. And I think the big thing that puts Cardiff apart from different universities is just the amount of support that's available. Um, might have heard the statistic about having the second largest and most active students union, and you just hear it and you think, wow, that's cool. But that really translates into just the student experience. There's a lot of focus that the university puts on. Sorry if you can hear the trains behind me, by the way. But there's just a lot of focus that the university puts on employability, well-being, and just making sure that students also enjoy their student life and not just focusing on the academics. So it's honestly a really, really fantastic university to study in. So if you guys have any questions for me, feel free to ask them. I did see someone ask earlier, what about a society for students from Africa? There is the African and Caribbean Society, which is a lot of fun. So we do have our own little communities for that. And also another fun fact, we are, I think, the second university in the UK to have a sabbatical officer role that just looks at international students. So there is a lot of focus that the university does and that the students themselves do on just making it a fun and enjoyable experience for international students. So yeah, that's enough for me waffling. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Or Becky, if you think there's anything you'd like me to talk about, please feel free to prompt me.
No, I think that was great. Thank you for giving that overview of Cardiff and for giving us those facts as well. Like having those little extra facts is really helpful. So yeah, so maybe we'll go to the Q&A now, if that's okay.
Excellent.
So yeah, let me just stop sharing my
Becky,
screen.
thank you for your time. I'll let you have a very small breather just while I talk to Kyle very quickly. Kyle, thank you for taking the time to be part of this. It's always great when we hear of students, ambassadors, and ex-students, whatever, come on and talk about their experiences. So thank you for taking your time out today. There will be plenty of students that will ask the question, what it's like within the university, because there's loads of students that will get a feel of what it's like in the city. Cardiff is a capital city. It's buoyant. Like you said, there's smiles everywhere. It's such a lovely city. But what's it like within the campus? Is it really buzzing? Is it a great environment to be around? Does everyone want to talk to everyone? What are the academics like?
Yeah, so this is, I think, another bonus point about the university. So when I came to the UK and I was deciding which university to go to, I had the option between a campus university or a city university. But I think one of the benefits of Cardiff is, even though it's a city university, you'll find that all of the buildings are so close together that you are going to interact with each other all the time. And I really like just the campus in general, because most academic buildings, they have their own little study spaces available to the students, but they have cafeterias or little coffee shops and study spaces as well. So just because I am studying business, for example, doesn't mean I have to stay in the business building. I can go to my friends in the main building and go sit with them in the science library and study together. And it's just very collaborative. It's not as siloed as some other universities or courses might be. I think you mix with so many different students, you're most likely going to make some friends on your course, but make a ton of friends throughout accommodation. If you're an international student, I would highly recommend that you come and live in university-owned accommodation, especially if it's your first year or if it's your postgrad, just because it's really easy to make friends who are studying a bunch of different stuff. And the university has a bunch of support that they offer students. There's a team called the Residence Life Team that makes sure that people settle in. So it's very bustling. It's very friendly. You're not stuck down into just one building. You can go about. My best friends does pharmacy. My other best friend does psychology. And yeah, you don't just interact with people from your course. You get to interact with a wide variety of people. So it's a very social university. On Wednesdays, people tend to find that earlier in the mornings, your classes will end earlier, because they want to give students the ability to go and join societies and go and just take part of the events, as Becky mentioned. And I think if you are worried about coming to the UK or worried about coming to university and you're worried about finding your people, societies is a really great way to do that. There's over 220 societies, and there is going to be something that you are interested in, and you'd get to speak with people with the same interests as you. An example, I don't know if anyone has watched the Barbie movie, but there used to be a Ken Appreciation Society. So there's genuinely something for everyone. So it's a very social, very friendly, and very welcoming university, especially for internationals, because there's 8,000 of us. So yeah.
Carl, thank you for that. Please don't go anywhere. I'm going to come back to you. But Becky, and first of all, actually, if anyone's got any questions in the audience, please submit it using the Q&A facility. We will try and answer your questions. I know Becky's colleagues have been answering them in the background. Becky, there's been quite a lot of questions around I'm from a certain country, and it's great that we've got so many different nationalities. To name a few, we've had someone from Saudi, someone from Liberia, someone from another African country as well. How important is it to note communication is key and to find the right pages that are relevant to that student? Because everyone's kind of asking, I'm from this country, what funding is available to me? What scholarships are open to me? Are they partial? Are they full refunds? Full scholarships. And if so, how do they go about finding that, and what's the next steps for them?
So yeah, good question. On our website is the best place to go for that. So I've seen that there's quite a few questions about, do you offer this course? Do you offer that course?
Yeah.
We have a really thorough pages called Course Finder. So if you go to cardiff.ac.uk, you'll be able to find the study link. So if you click on study, click on postgraduate taught, and then you can see an A to Z of our different courses. The same for postgraduate research. You can also search through looking at the different subject areas and the different schools that we have as well. So that's the best place. And the course pages are the best place for the information. So that's where you can find out about exactly what the course will have. It's where you'll find out kind of a breakdown of the program, the accreditations, a bit about the academics, also entry requirements. You'll also find the cost. And then on the course pages, there's also links to any scholarships. But if you simply just do a Google of Cardiff University International Scholarships, it will then take you to the International Scholarships page, and that is where our scholarships are. They're all in one place. You can click on each scholarship to have a look at the eligibility criteria, because some of the criteria, some of our scholarships are based on domicile. So you can then see if you are eligible, if your country is listed. You can find all of the terms and conditions on there, when you might have to accept your offer by, when you have to apply by, whether it's automatic, whether it's application based. We don't have any full scholarships. If there are any questions about full scholarships, there's always some questions about full scholarships, but we don't offer those. They're partial. For undergraduate, for postgraduate, they're partial, and for undergraduate, it's for year one. But yeah, all the information is on the website. So we have the international scholarships page, and then the specific pages for each course as well.
And apologies for the background noises. As you
I can't hear it.
work out, it's absolutely teeming down with rain where we're located. And I don't know quite how you've got away with it in Cardiff, if I'm being honest with you, because we're not too far.
Right.
Look at the lovely weather.
I did notice, Carl, you were outside. I'm like, how have you got away with that? Anyway, so I want to talk about the type of student that will apply, because rightly so on your screen, you've got Russell Group Uni. People would just think, perhaps I'm outside of the uni, it's not for me. I'm maybe not intelligent enough, not academic enough. It's kind of an old myth, isn't it? Because really, if you've done your undergrad degree and you're good in what you excel in what you're good at, you can kind of apply no matter what. Now, there will be students of all ages and different backgrounds, won't there, that will no doubt apply for the uni. And actually, one of the biggest things and growth that we've seen in the postgrad market, probably since the COVID pandemic, has been an increase in the mature students, 30 years plus. That must make for great classroom environments to begin with. And I'll come to you in a moment, Kyle, and ask you about that. But Becky, it does mean that actually it doesn't matter what stage of your career you're at, you can apply, can't you?
100%, yeah. So yeah, we get students who are fresh out of undergraduate, postgraduate, of course. Then we get some students that have maybe taken a couple of years to work, especially in things like the MBA, because you have to have work experience for the MBA. But then you sometimes get some students who are like in their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, who have just coming back because they love to learn, which is just really nice. I can't remember if it is at Cardiff or if it was at the previous institution that I worked for, but we had a woman who was in her 80s doing a master's in English literature. And she just did it because she loves to learn and she loved it. And yeah, and she was, welcomed into the community as much as everybody else. We've got people from all different walks of life. So obviously we've got different people from all over the world, 150 plus different countries. But we also have, parents and people who have part-time jobs and people who have done a career in a whole different area and are now doing a conversion program, like somebody who might have been an engineer for 10 years of their life, but they're now doing a psychology conversion program because they actually want to have a complete career change. And that really does make for a very vibrant, interesting, diverse classrooms of people who are just, you can learn so much. It's really amazing. But Kyle, I'll let you talk about that as well, because you've probably seen it in real life.
Kyle, can I just elaborate further on the question as well? Because we have had a question aimed towards yourself, which I think blends in really nicely. And they've said, please, Carl, what is your most challenging moment during the early stay in Cardiff, and how did you manage your day, presumably? What would be your red flag warning or advice for newly enrolled students on campus? And to elaborate even further from that, Kyle, what are the classroom sizes like? What's the environment like? Just off the back of what Becky mentioned. So I know there's a few questions in there, but if you could kind of just explain your experience as best as possible, that'd be great.
So I think the biggest thing for most international students, including myself, is just if you're coming to a new country where you don't necessarily know the landscape, everything, it's a little bit overwhelming at first. And this is why I recommend for students to go to the university-owned accommodation, especially if you're a mature student and you're worried about being in accommodation that's not like catered towards that. There is specific accommodation for mature students. There's specific accommodation for postgrad students. And it's really just it's the best way I would recommend for people to just make friends and settle in fast, because you have all of these people who are studying postgrads as well. Majority of them will probably be international students as well. So you have people who are in the same situation as you. So it makes it a little bit less overwhelming. And the thing that helped me in the beginning to settle in is to just go to those events that the Residence Life team had, just having a friendly face to go chat to. It's students that volunteer in this team, and they are there and they can help you with your issues and with regards to like just residence queries, etc. So that I think was the most challenging bit for me. But it just gets better with time. Like your first day is going to be a little bit scary, but then you start to get into a routine, you make friends, and then you blink and then it's over, and you're there looking for jobs like I am. With regards to the class sizes, it depends. It depends on how busy the course is. For my class sizes, if it's the actual lectures, they tend to be a little bit bigger, and then the tutorials are usually about 10 people. But want to just stress that your lectures are always available. Even if you are in a bigger class, you are encouraged the entire time to ask questions, to go and see the lecturers afterwards. They are accessible. They are there to speak to you and to give you more of an insight into the industry. I'm very interested in supply chain, so I have got great relationships, friendships with some of my lecturers who are experts in this field,
Yeah.
and who better to learn from. And this is exactly what you want in a postgrad course. I forgot what the other question was. I know there was a three-pronged approach there.
Yeah, I mean, it was just the biggest red flags, the biggest challenges, what you found, and that could be on a personal level. We're talking a lot about international students here, and rightly so. There's quite a few on watching, and will be in the future. But it is obviously applicable to UK students as well, because
Yeah,
I've got a family member that studies undergraduate at Cardiff, who's always been a bit of a homesick one. Don't want to leave
yeah.
London, and it's a big change for them as well, coming to another city in still another country. So, what would you find the biggest red flags are on a personal level? What to stay clear of?
I don't think there is red flags. I think just a tip that I would give is to just go and live in university-owned accommodation, especially if it's your first year. My friends who have had a little bit of not from Cardiff, from other universities in the UK, have had a little bit more rougher time acclimating to university. The common theme tends to be that they didn't live in university accom, just because people who live in private accommodations tend to be a little bit more reserved, and there's not as many like nice social spaces. So yeah, not really any red flags. I think it's just very important to note that everyone is in the same boat as you. No one has a advantage over you, and people are there to interact, to learn. They're all interested in the course. It's a perfect mix. And the big thing with university is it's what you make of it. If you don't want to sign up to societies, you don't have to. No one is going to be there. No one's going to be there forcing you to do it. You have to take ownership over your learning, and you have to take ownership over your experience. And there is so much support available. You just need to want to access it. Becky mentioned that you have a personal tutor. You also have a student mentor that's assigned to most students. So I'm myself a senior student mentor and a student mentor. So I have about 41 first years that I look after. So there is a ton of support in the university. I think the big things is just know that no one has an advantage over you, and just make the most out of it. At the end of the day, you're here to advance your career and to gain specialist knowledge in whatever field you're interested in. So I hope that answers the
It
question.
does. I'm aware you've spoken for quite a while there. Thank you so much. It's great
No
having you on,
problem.
Carl. It really is. And I would encourage any student that or potential student to find out more information. The link was put in earlier. There was a QR code on the screen. This will be on demand. So if you need to scan the QR code later again, please do so because students like Kyle and others that will be ambassadors for the university will be exactly in your shoes. So I encourage any student that's watching, please communicate with people that are living there, studying there, and have embraced the culture and know what it's about. So thank you, Carl. Becky, if I can come back to you, there's been a few questions. First of all, I want to start with the kind of IELTS English language TOEFL requirement. A lot of students will go, I speak English as my first language, I've got a job in English, but I don't have the certificate. Is that acceptable, or do they have to take an English test, prove they can pass that level of requirements, and then obviously go on and apply for the program? And likewise, if it's not up to scratch, what support do you offer to help them get there?
Yeah, so really good question. So yeah, typically most students will need to have an English language test. There are obviously a few exceptions, and that is the countries that are on the exceptions list can be found on the UKVI website. But typically for most of our programs, we would need to see evidence of English language. I can see that people are asking for, I'm from this country, I'm from this country, I'm from this country. I don't have that all in my brain, unfortunately, to know exactly each country. But I can put in the chat our, because I think the chat might be better for this. I can put in the chat the English language pages that we have specifically
Yeah.
for postgraduate. And that is a comprehensive web page that has everything about any exceptions, what we accept, and how we can accept it. So yeah, have a look on there. And obviously, if you do have any further questions, if it doesn't make sense, or you're like, oh, do I fit into that bracket, or do I not fit into that bracket? Then yeah, you're welcome to reach out to us, and I'll put the email address in the chat as well there.
Yeah.
But that page is our English language requirements for postgraduate. But yeah, typically, even if you've done a degree in English, but if your country isn't an English speaking country, then you still need to show evidence of English. But then if you are from an English speaking country, you have to be on the UKVI acceptance list. So yeah, so sometimes you have to do a bit of your own
Yeah.
research and do a bit of digging into that, but that should be a starting point for you to have a look. And yeah, as I said, if you do have any kind of queries about that, then yeah, do reach out. But obviously,
Yeah.
I don't have all the information for every single
Of
country in the
course.
world kind of
And
in my
that's
brain
something
right
to
now.
factor into to all students as well. Please just communicate with the university. They're not going to know everything off the top of their head. They will be in the same boat as you. They're going to want you to come to the university if you're the right student and it's the right fit. So please talk to them. I'm not going to aim this towards yourself, Kyle. Instead, I think I'll just comment on it. Someone has said, have you ever heard a case of racism? If so, how did the institution protect international students against racism? I would like to point out, Vinny, that the UK and Wales and Cardiff in particular, a very multicultural city, country, very cosmopolitan. It's a great place to live, study, from all different nationalities. And I think I don't want to talk on behalf of the university, but I think I can talk on behalf of nearly the whole of the UK education system, that we do rely on foreign international students to come to the UK, and without them, we wouldn't have an educational system. So I hope that's put your mind at rest. I won't make the academics and the students ask to answer that. But we'll get to that at another time if you need more info. Becky, there has been questions around when should I apply for the postgraduate scholarship, and if I can extend that to a program as well, when the intake dates predominantly are. If it is that they're looking for September this year, 2026, when should they get applying, and when can they expect a response back?
So they can apply now for September 2026. And a response back, it can really vary. And it's kind of asking how long is a piece of string, because, if we've got a lot of applications coming in at once, it can take a bit longer. If you've got like an international qualification, it might take a bit longer because we're perhaps looking into it a little bit more. So it can really vary for how long it takes. But rest assured that we do go through them as quickly as we can. When it comes to application deadlines, they're all on the website as well. But do just bear in mind that if courses become full, they will close. So that's like the deadline. But if you are interested in applying, I would get applying as soon as you're kind of ready and you think that you really want to come to Cardiff. I wouldn't leave it too late. When it comes to so was there a question there about scholarships? Yes, there
Yeah,
was.
so how long do they need to leave it before they
Yeah,
apply for
so
a scholarship?
some of our scholarships are automatic based on domicile. So it will just not be an automatic, it will automatically happen, but that is very clear on the website. And some of them, so for our China and our Turkey international scholarship, students are invited to apply. So they have to have an offer from the university. We don't just put the application form just on the website because people tend to fill it in without applying. You need to have an offer before you can be awarded a scholarship. So applying is the first thing that you need to do.
Right.
And then anyone who's eligible for those scholarships, we invite them to apply for the scholarship. So those forms won't be on the website. But yeah, the first port of call is to apply first. One thing I do want to say is that there's been a few questions about how to apply. If you go onto the specific course page, so if you're applying, I saw somebody was interested in English earlier. If you were interested in, say, like English literature, for example, then you can go onto the course page, and at the top there's a banner, and in the top right-hand corner there's a green button that says apply for this course, and that is where you can click to apply for the course. It will take you to a page where you can create a login. You create your login and then you can go in and you can start your application. One thing I want to say though is that you can save your application and then come back to it at a later date. You don't need to do everything all in one go. So if you're pretty sure that you want to apply for Cardiff, you can start that, you can start creating that hub now and start inputting the information and then come back to it at a later date. But yeah, Gareth, I hope that answers your question with everything that
It
you put
does.
in the question there.
It does. Thank you. I'm just conscious of time, so I think we'll wrap things up. Thank you very much. Kyle, really appreciate you taking the time out of your day and talking to us about your experience. And like I said, any student watching, please, I encourage you to chat to as many students as you can and put your mind at rest, whether it be on a personal level, whether it be on an academic level. And Becky, a huge thank you for your time also. If anyone has any questions, international@cardiff.ac.uk, like Becky's just put in the chat there, is the best email address. Or if you want to email us first, it's webinars@postgradsolutions.com.